Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, where we talk about the art of intentional living. This show is to inspire, empower, and educate you through your life, through transitions, whatever's going on. We bring on amazing guests, and today is no exception. I have a amazing hottie in the house today. Justin Guarini's here. So tune in, everybody tune in. The name of our show this week is called Building Unshakable Confidence with American Idol star Justin Guarini. Justin is way more than American Idol. When you hear what he's up to and has been up to, you're really going to want to lean in and listen in, because he is brilliant at bringing it, as we know, which I can't wait to get into his story, but how he's taking literally all his gifts, all his talents, what he's accomplished in his own life, and he's really helping others, and he's using his life in service to help build other people's brands, their leadership skills, their authority, and really giving them unshakable confidence. And he's got an upcoming book coming out too, so we're going to be talking about that too. So stay tuned. He's going to be on the show in just a couple of minutes. Before we get into our interview with Justin, I wanted to just give you a little update on what's going on here at I Have Today. This is our first live show in quite a while, actually. The team and I were figuring that out. We kind of sort of took a summer hiatus so that we were playing reruns, so you guys didn't know that. We pulled out some classic episodes of I Have Today before we were doing the show live, when it was pre-recorded. So if this is your first time to the show, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And if you've been here before, I want to say welcome back. Thanks so much for the support. But go check out the station, the channel, whether it's on E360 TV or the YouTube channel, and take a look at some of our past episodes, because they were really, really powerful shows. So we've been super busy here at I Have Today over the summer. Kelly, the amazing Kelly, got married. So kudos to Kelly, and Ashley's here and she's rocking it. And we've just been building and changing a lot of things here. One of the things that we're doing, which I'll talk more about at the end of the show, but I want to touch on right now, is one of the questions I've been getting asked a lot lately is in my coaching practice and from other people is, Diane, I want a show like you have. I want to do what you're doing. Will you teach me how to do it? Well, here's the way things work. You know, when you hear something once, then twice, then multiple times, you start to pay attention to it and go, I think maybe I should do a training for that. So guess what? That's what we did. So this is Monday, August 23rd. Obviously, if you're watching this live, you know that. If you're catching the repeat, I'm just giving you the date. What we're doing today is we are launching a brand new free 5-day challenge called TV Star Maker. And over the next 5 days, I'm going to teach you how you can create your own platform and why you should, the credibility it'll give you, the authority it will build for you, the leverage it will give you in your business. I'm going to take you through the 5 M's on what you need to do in order for you to launch your own show. There's never been a better time. Video is here to stay. People are seeking content everywhere. Stop trying to wait and to be discovered. Like Justin was lucky, right? Well, he wasn't lucky. He worked hard on it. But amazing thing happened for him. But that can't happen for everybody. So stop waiting to be discovered and launch your own platform. Be the star in your own life. So, Kelly, can I throw you for a loop and throw up a URL? So if you're interested, register at tvstarmaker.com, tvstarmaker.com. I'll talk more about this at the end of the show, after my interview with Justin on how important it is for you to do this. Something to consider, whether you're in business for yourself or working for somebody else. But if you've got a message that you want to share, you want to serve in an extraordinary way, there's no better way to do it than to create your own network show. So, all right. So our theme this week, we always do an intention statement. And our intention statement is, I have today to build unshakable confidence. tying in with our theme title of the show, which is Building Unshakable Confidence with American Idol star Justin Guarini. He's a master at it. So what we do every week with our wallpapers is the amazing Ashley creates, I think it's a team effort. I think Kelly creates the graphic. Yes?
It's all Ashley.
Oh, it's all Ashley. Now it's all Ashley. It used to be all Kelly. Now it's all Ashley. The team has grown. She creates beautiful graphics and she posts them on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official. It's a little button there that says wallpapers, and you can go there and scroll through the ones and use them as your screensaver so that that intention statement, that affirmation gets anchored in. You look at your phone an average of 150 times a day. So if you're looking at it and saying, I have today to build unshakable confidence, and you're looking at that every day, 150 times a day, all week long, guess what you're going to get? Unshakable confidence. So check it out on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official. Okay. All right. It is time for me to bring on our guest, Justin Guarini.
Hello.
Hey, Justin, how are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for having me.
We are so thrilled to have you here. Thank you for taking time and making the time in your busy schedule, your busy life, to spend a few minutes hanging out with us at I Have Today.
Pleasure. Yeah, thank you. I love the theme. And something that I want to touch on really quickly is that you mentioned that I got lucky, and then you said, oh, I worked hard for it. But what's really interesting about luck, and a lot of people think like, oh, we're trying to get lucky, or I had a lucky break, or had this, that, the other. Yeah, there's truth to that. But when we look at luck, let's just examine that for just a second. Like, what is luck, right? Do we think, oh, if I find a 4-leaf, it's just something that's outside of us that just happens, poof, lightning hits us. But luck, really, at the end of the day, is preparation meeting opportunity. Yes. Preparation meeting opportunity, right? So we can make our own luck, but it starts first with ourselves being prepared and then coming up on an opportunity like you have, this TV Star Maker Challenge, where people can learn how to take all of the things that they excel at, the messages that they have, and put that out there in a way that lets other people know about it and cuts through the noise.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Already dropping nugget bombs already. I didn't even do your intro yet. And already it's like awesome. It's so great. I love it. I love it. We're so grateful to have you here. I would like to just share with the audience, a little bit about you, although the whole world knows about you, but just what you've been up to lately. Mm-hmm. So Justin Guarini is a sought after performer, coach, author, and speaker. As the creator of the Unbreakable Confidence Method and CEO of his company, Profit Under Pressure, he serves an ever-growing list of coaches, leaders, influencers, and entrepreneurs who come to him seeking brand development, confidence coaching, and the next level of achievement and success in their business. All right, a little more about you. From the tender age of 4 years old, when he was accepted into the prestigious Atlanta Boys Choir program, Justin has been in love with entertainment. Over the past 20 years, Justin has entertained hundreds of millions of fans all over the world. From his breakout run on the groundbreaking first season of American Idol, performing live in front of 30 million viewers, me included, each week, and finishing second overall, touring across America in sold-out arenas of 30,000 screaming fans, to starring in 7 musicals and plays in principal roles on Broadway, to hosting live televised red carpet events for the Grammys, Emmys, Tonys, to his award-winning 7-year-long commercial campaign as the lovable Lil Sweet for Dr. Pepper, to sharing his hard-won entertainment expertise in his best-selling book, Audition Secrets. Justin prides himself on delivering a diverse, memorable, and outstanding entertainment experience for everyone he serves. Okay.
Thank you. Wow. Good night. Thank you. Good night, everybody. That's it. Thank you very much. Good night.
Mic drop. OMG. So, wow. Okay.
You read the shiny intro.
Well, isn't that what we do? Well, we know there's more to the story. So let's go. I want to dive in. So 4 years old, you started entertaining at 4 years old?
Yeah. My parents recognized that I could carry a tune in a bucket, as they say in the South, which is where I'm from. And so the Atlanta Boys Choir was just a thing. It was there, and they're like, why don't we just take him over here and let him audition for it? It was really interesting, and they tell me this because they didn't let kids in until about 5 years of age, but they allowed me in after I auditioned at around 4, and they put me in a program, almost like, I guess, like an apprentice-y kind of program. And I remember very clearly going and singing and having the opportunity. My choral director was named Wolfgang. And I just remember like just rolling in at 4.5 and then eventually 5 years of age, and singing this beautiful music. And I think I fell in love with the idea of music and performance at that time.
Yeah. Well, it's in your blood, and it shows, Okay. So, what about your upbringing? So you grew up in the South.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about that.
So, yeah, briefly. And one of you wonder why I'm in the spotlight and want to be an entertainer and just don't mind lights, cameras, everything like that. My father was eventually chief of police in Atlanta, which is a highly political position, was at the time, certainly is now, right? And so whenever a lot of the dignitaries came to Atlanta, entertainment, all kinds of things and people came to Atlanta, I was there, and he always brought me along with him. So I learned from a very young age how to handle myself in high stakes political situations, in front of news media and things like that. And then you take the flip side of that. My mom was one of the first 200 people to start up CNN as an anchor woman. And so, it was back when people were like 24-hour news, whatever. And yet there in 1986, that was it. And she was an anchor woman. And so I remember waking up at some ungodly hour in the morning, and she's putting on what was probably then pancake makeup, and I would watch her on the set of CNN, and I would go play on the set when nobody was there, and I would go to breakfast with the weatherman, and so my upbringing has always been one that has been something that is centered around just being in some sort of spotlight. And so it was a natural transition for me to then use what it is that I love to do, which is to entertain and sing and dance and act and do that in the spotlight.
Yeah, that's so fantastic. Do you have siblings?
Oh man, do I ever. Yeah, I have 1 half brother, 2 half sisters, 3 stepbrothers, and 4 stepsisters.
Oh, wow. Big family.
And I'm the baby.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So a big family, big mixed blended family.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so speaking of family, tell me about your family.
Oh, I have been married for, good grief, is it almost 13 years now? And we have 3 children. Our daughter is 16, believe it or not, and our middle son is 10, and our youngest son is 8. So,
okay. How could you have a 16-year-old already?
Well, she's my stepdaughter, but still, at the same time, I mean, I've been in her life since she was 2, and I'm 42, so you know, I can hang with a 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's so wonderful. Yeah. So, okay. So can we talk about American Idol? Like
100%.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
What was it like working with Simon Cowell?
A lot of people ask me that. And, Simon Cowell has the reputation of being unkind, shall we say, blunt. And, when you walk up to Simon Cowell, like now, one of the last times I saw him, it's like he is someone who knows what he wants. He is someone who is driven, maybe a little bit less so now, but definitely back then, like he was super driven, and like you go and you talk with him and you get your amount of time, and then that's right. He's going, but
all business.
Maybe not all business, mostly business, but. Okay. What I will say, the last time I saw him, it was so interesting. He looks great. He probably feels better than he's ever felt before. But there is a genuine warmth and a kindness to Simon Cowell that a lot of people don't get to see. Yeah. And in the past, and people have been like, I was standing there when somebody asked him, like, hey, why is it that you're so hard on these kids? And why is it that you will literally cut people off at the knees? And his answer was just so interesting to me. And it shows how much he actually cares, and how his, part of it's obviously for television and for ratings and for shock value. But the other half of it is because he said, look, if someone comes into my audition room and I see with my breadth of knowledge and experience that they're never going to make it in this business, that they have no business trying, then if I were to say, oh, and coddle them a little bit and give them, I would be doing them a huge disservice, because they're going to go spend an untold amount of time, an untold amount of money, an untold amount of energy pursuing something that they will never have, based on me being kind and maybe giving them some encouragement, when I could have, and what I normally do, which is I cut them off at the knees, tell them they need to do something else, and tell them that this is not for you. And so it's just as part of his, obviously persona. But the other half, I guess the flip side of Simon, is someone who is deeply passionate about what it is that he does, and recognizes that, you can make all the money in the world, and Lord knows he has. But the end of the day, it's the impact, it's the feeling, the inspiration that people get from watching his shows that I think really makes him feel good.
Yeah. So that experience for you, all right. So clearly life-changing, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. And how do you tie in that time of your life, and the experience, because there are no wasted moments.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is obviously leading to something else. Like Steve Jobs used to say, you can only connect the dots going backwards. You can't connect them going forward. So from that experience, incredible experience, how do you tie that into what you're doing today in your life?
It's really interesting, because I think for the past 20 years, I have been on such an interesting roller coaster in my life, in my career.
Yeah.
And the entertainment industry, unlike many other industries, but also like the entrepreneurial game, is one where nothing is guaranteed. And there's no, or relatively little, at least in the beginning, there's relatively little security.
Yeah.
It's a game of faith. It's a game of experience. It's a game of cat and mouse. It's a game of just experimenting and seeing what works.
Yeah.
But over 20 years, I've had high successes and low failures, and everything in between.
Yes.
And it wasn't until I had one moment where I auditioned for a very popular Broadway show, spent 3 months in essence auditioning for this show, going in and out of New York City and doing homework like I'd never done homework before for a show. And at the very end, after I had left it all on the field, as we say,
yes,
I had to wait for them to respond, to give me a simple
yes or no,
negative, right? Yes or no, right? And after I bugged my agent, who then had to bug the casting director, who then had to bug the producers and the people who made the decision, they said no. That was it. No. And I realized I've worked 3 months, hours and hours and hours, learning this stuff, honing my skills, honing my craft, understanding their story, understanding and delving deep, interviewing people even for my own personal stuff, not to put out.
right.
And they discarded me like I was trash.
Wow.
And that is the plight of entertainers at the top of the charts and the people who are just starting out. Mm-hmm. And it was the catalyst for me saying, hey, do I even want to do this anymore? And then once I got over myself, I said, oh yeah, I do want to do this, but I don't ever want to feel like that again. And then as that began to evolve, I said, well, if this can happen to me, and I'm by no means at the top, but I'm not at the bottom either.
Oh yeah. Right.
What happens to people who are just starting out? What happens to people who don't have the ability to bug their agent, who will go, but who don't have the fact that all that stuff that you read, who don't have that on their resume, right? And so that was where Audition Secrets was born. And that was where my entrepreneurial journey really, truly began, because I recognized, on one hand, I have value that I can add to the marketplace and help people avoid the traps and pitfalls that I fell into. And then at the time I was turning 40 and I realized I might not want to be in front of the camera or be on the stage, or people might not want to see me or hear from me or whatnot. So what is it that I can do that is not dependent upon somebody else giving me a job or somebody else buying some, like listening to a record or something, you know what I mean? Like somebody else giving me a job.
Yes.
How can I serve in a way? And so it started with entertainers. And then over time, as I began to do these courses, teach and go around and talk about the book and interview people about their audition secrets, I realized that, wait, there's a deeper level to all of this. And there's something that entrepreneurs and authors and entertainers and influencers have come to me about over the years. And they wanted to find out more about it. And I didn't put the pieces together, as you said, but I connected the dots backwards. And it all centered around confidence. How do you do this? Or how do you get up on stage and you do this? Well, how do you fight the voices in your head that tell you that X, Y, and Z? And it comes down to confidence. And that was when I started studying, okay, what is confidence? I figured out through trial and error how to destroy confidence, but I also had to learn how to build confidence, right? What it was, what it wasn't, what the myths were around it. And so that's when I started really delving into, okay, what does confidence mean? We can talk about that. And then what are the frameworks that I can put around it that are the guideposts that allow you ultimately not only to connect the dots backwards, but allow you to start plotting out the dots going forward.
That's so powerful. And it's something that everybody needs. Kudos to you for your self-empowerment, taking, your life into your own hands and controlling it, right? Creating this, that's like what I was saying about the TV star maker thing. Like, you've built this business on your own, and you're taking everything from your life experience to help and serve others, which is one of the reasons why I love you so much. We're actually in a coaching program together, and I watch the way you serve, and it's really beautiful.
Cheers.
And I just know that for a fact, because this, I do a lot of mindset work, but this thing can really mess us up. So to be able to build this unshakable confidence, and for you to hone in on that is so needed. It is so needed. So,
and it comes from, we're in this great program together, and I, even at certain points, and just like you did this summer, you had to step back for a second.
Yeah.
You've had a great deal of success in doing what it is that you do. I've had a great deal of success in doing what it is that I do. But like, I have even had to step back now over the next 2, 3, 6, 12 months. I'm like going warp speed, but I've had to completely take a step back because I went down a road where I was teaching people something that I could teach them, but that I didn't enjoy teaching. Right? Sometimes we fall into these patterns of like, yes, I know how to do this thing. And yeah, I've had success in this thing. And yet it's not something we really love and enjoy. And that's why when it comes to that confidence, is being able to, at the end of the day, if we look at the root word of confidence, the English root word of confidence, it's confide, which means to trust.
Yes.
Which is why we tell our secrets to a confidant, a confidant, right? And yet if we don't have self-confidence, we don't trust ourselves. And one of the greatest things I've ever heard from one of my most dear mentors, Myron Golden, is this, that when you recognize that all the people you come in contact with in the world, in your life, they don't see you through their eyes, they see you through your eyes, you'll recognize that when you don't have confidence, aka self-trust, you are literally teaching everyone around you not to trust you.
So true, so powerful.
Right? And it's a simple concept that lies at the heart of everything that I love teaching, whether I teach entertainers in auditions or interpretation of songs or whatever it is, entrepreneurs, authors. I mean, it lies at the heart of what many of us do when we help people discover that thing.
Yeah.
Hone their message. It comes back to, do I trust myself enough to show up for myself, for my family, for my people?
Yeah.
Do I trust myself enough to be the person I must be, or become the person I must be, in order to do the things that I know I must do in order to have the things that I desire? And so for me, that's why the conversation of confidence is so powerful, because it sits at the heart of so many of the things that we do, regardless of what walk of life you come from or what business you're in.
True. I want to talk more on confidence, but I just want to make it a point, because in part of having, actually it ties in together, part of having this unshakable confidence that you talk about is being an entrepreneur, and a business owner, and being able to do what you just said, be able to go take that step back and assess it, and then make changes and pivot it. And that takes confidence to be able to go, this isn't working anymore, or I'm not happy doing this anymore. I want to make a change into something else.
Yeah. And what I'd love to say, just to tag on to the end of that, is everything that you want, and we'll get into the framework of what I call unshakable confidence, but everything that you want is waiting for you. Your body, the relationships that you want, the business that you want, the spiritual connection that you want, the material stuff that you want, all of that is waiting for you, just on the other side of your willingness to fall down and fail publicly often, because there's no one who has built anything that's lasted. There's no one who has created any sort of legacy, whether it's the one name people we see on the TV and media and entertainment. Every single one of them have built their empires on the back of massive failure. And so understanding that failure is, and being able to have the confidence to fail, the trust in yourself to recognize that, failure is not the destination, which many people see it as when they get there. It's a part of the process. Yes. And it is a signpost along the way.
It is. That's such a valid point. One of the things that I realized, and I started to tell people, my clients or the audience, whoever, is you get comfortable with that. I don't call it failures or mistakes, but they are lessons along the way. This is your education. All of this is your education. And so the things that hold you back from you trying something are fears and limiting beliefs. But are you going to stay stuck there because the pain of not doing the thing that you want to do far outweighs the pain that you go through on your way to it? Far and away. The regret is the worst emotion in the world from not trying that. So I applaud you, and I would love for you to share the principles around your formula for confidence.
Sure. Yeah. I love this. I'm going to write the pain of not doing it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Okay, so when we talk about unshakable confidence, and it's just so interesting, because I figured, I was like, okay, great. Confidence, we talked about what it is, right? It's trust. And yet there are these myths around confidence. And it's part of what I open my book with. And it's like, most people believe that you either have it or you don't. You're born with confidence, or you don't have confidence. Whatever it is. Yeah, it's a DNA thing, right? Not true. Yeah. Or other people believe that you have to have years, decades of experience in something to be able to confidently speak on it. Or a lot of people believe that you have to have a piece of paper with some letters behind your name to be able to talk about it. But confidence is a skill, just like chewing gum without swallowing it, just like riding a bike, right? Just like tying your shoes, barring obviously any mental or physical challenges. It's something that everyone can accomplish.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about a frame for confidence and unbreakable confidence, unshakable confidence, it's like, well, okay, why a frame? Well, it's like a picture on the wall, right? If you just slap a picture on the wall, yeah, it'll work. But just like behind you over your right shoulder, that silver frame that you have in that picture guides the eye towards the actual subject of what it is, and it gives it a border and gives it a place that's all its own on your wall and separates it from the wall. So the frame for unshakable confidence for me comes down to the development of 4 key skills, and then the application of those 4 key skills across 4 key areas of life. And so the 4 key skills are clarity, commitment, creativity, and certainty. And each one of those has subcategories we don't have time to go into, but those are the overarching themes: clarity, commitment, creativity, and certainty. And the 4 key areas of life are our bodies, our spirituality, our relationships, and our business. And so when we think about unshakable confidence and how we can develop that, the very first pillar that I always deal with is clarity. Mm-hmm. And in a speech that I will often give, I just always talk about, okay, the most important thing, this, Diane, it's like you've got to get clear not only about what you want, but about where you are today. Because otherwise we December 31st ourselves, is what I like to call it. It's like at 11:59 and 50 seconds, we're like 10, 9 on December 31st, 8, 7. And in that 10-second span, we more often than not think about all the amazing things that we're going to do next year. This year's my year, right? I think about 2019. This year's my year. I'm going to make this much money. I'm going to spend more time with my spouse and my kids. I'm going to lose this weight or gain this muscle, whatever that might be for you. I'm going to pray more. I'm going to meditate more. I'm going to, these beautifully wonderful sort of vague visions that we have in the future. Even if we get specific about it. Yeah. But why is it that around second, third week of February, after we've spent a month and a half out there jogging, a month and a half praying, going to church, a month and doing all those things, and or maybe even a month, and then we're like, you've been jogging for a month, and then you're like, I've been really good. I'm gonna eat this thing that I haven't been eating before, right? Yeah. And then it just progressively goes to the place where you're like, I don't really feel like getting up and jogging today, right? Why is it that we lose it sometime around the middle of February? Well, because as exciting as those goals are, as exciting as those targets are out there, as clear as we can get on our future vision, we have not gotten clear on who we are today, what we do today. And I know you know this. I know you go through this with your clients as well, because there's a formula that we get backwards, especially here in America. But there's the formula of be, do, have. But we, based on a lot of the way we've been raised, based on the way the media portrays life and business and blah, 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 we think have, do, be. Example, money. Let's take money, big one. Oh, if I just have $30,000 extra a year, that I can do the things that I want to do, like go on vacations, spend more time with my family, buy that car, house that I want, so that I can be happy, be fulfilled, be successful, be a good partner, be a good entrepreneur, whatever that is for you. But yet, when we look at it that way, have, do, be, that having is based on the thing that the way we behave is that we don't already have those things. It's something outside of ourselves that needs to happen to us, or that we need to get outside of ourselves in order to then do and be the thing. But if we flip that, and as you said before, mindset, and we ask ourselves, who do I need to be? Who do I need to become? Then from that powerful place, from that internal dialing up of our thermostat, then we think differently. Our actions are different. Our behaviors are different. The way we speak. Who do I need to become? And then based on that becoming, what must I do in order to then have that thing I desire? Because when we become someone who feels worthy of $100,000 a month in income, when we become someone who feels worthy to be in a size whatever dress, I'm not even going to go there because I'm not trying to mansplain any of that. But when I become someone who's worthy to be 180 pounds of muscle, when I become someone who feels like they are a good father and a good partner, when I become someone who is willing to say, maybe I don't know everything and I just need to pray on this, or I need to meditate, or I need to do whatever, and I need to give my guidance over to a higher power. When I become someone like that, then almost automatically I do the things that I must do, or I learn how to do the things that I know that I must do. And you see, and that's how we actually have the things, when we become the things. And so just bring it right back around, is when it comes to confidence, unshakable, unbreakable confidence, when we have clarity, when we understand our commitment, when we are willing to get creative and develop our certainty, it is a formula for then learning how to be the person who then will do what they know they must do to have the things that they desire in their lives, and trust themselves along the way through that journey.
I love everything that you said, Justin, and I love the way you break that out and how important the clarity is, and how that leads to the commitment, the creativity, and the certainty. And you're right. The most important thing that people don't do is set themselves up for understanding, this is where I am now. This is where I want to go. How can you possibly get to a destination if you don't know where your starting point is and where you want to end up? You can't. I call it, it's like you're sitting on a bus and there's no navigation system and you're in the back. You're not even the one in control. You're just going to aimlessly move through life through the land of ambiguity. And you're constantly in reactionary mode in your life because you haven't taken that time to create that clarity. So you can't get what you want. You're constantly basing your decisions and your actions in your life on what somebody else wants, because they're determined. They have the clarity. They know what they want. Right?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, as a matter of fact, let me look here because I have this book sitting in front of me, and there's someone, here it is. I'm going to find it in just a second. A wandering generality. Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar said, you're a wandering generality, as opposed to being a meaningful specific. A wandering generality. And isn't that it? I mean, of course, Zig Ziglar, one of the old guard, right? But a wandering generality versus a meaningful specific. And whatever you do.
That is so quotable, man.
Right? It is. And that's it. And so, clarity is that thing that we all, as coaches, as leaders, strive towards, right? Not only for ourselves, because the clearer I am about what it is that I want, the more clear I'll be able to tell my employees or my team, deliver my message, right? And so, it's just so interesting how clarity, not only about where you want to go, but where you are, ends up opening this gap, right? We think of myself today and then myself 3, 6, 9 months from now. And yet most people leap into that gap and wonder why they fall and they fail. Because we don't give ourselves, and many people don't give themselves the roadmap to get there, that GPS like you talked about, right? The guidance, the quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily guidance and game that it takes in order to achieve the things that we want.
Yes, very well said. Very well said. Okay, I want to first ask you a question that I ask all my guests, and then I want to talk about your upcoming book.
Sure.
So how do you live the I have today way, which is intentionally in the present moment?
Absolutely. For better or worse in mornings, sometimes it works really well. Sometimes I don't quite get it all done, but I still strive to it every single day as my morning routine. I live for today in the sense that I get up and I do a specific set of things to set myself up for success. Most people go to work, go outside of their homes looking for a victory, looking for the win. I get up and I give myself the win. It's not always perfect.
Right.
I don't always get all of it done. Some days I just don't feel like doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But I always seek at least one of those 4 areas we talked about: my body, my spirituality, my relationships, my business. I always seek a victory and a win, because then when I leave the house, I'm not looking for that win. I've already got my win, and I'm operating from a place of winning. I'm operating from a place of success. I'm operating from a place of, when we talk about that, and again, I'm not perfect at it, but we talk about, here's where I am now, here's where I want to be. I'm operating from a place of walking the walk and following the map, right? I may take some, but I've always got that clear vision. And part of my morning routine is making sure that I keep my eyes on that prize, and that I take care of my body, I take care of my spirituality, I take care of my relationships that matter to me, and I take care of my business. And that is how I live and how I have today, because I realize that all I have is today. And the more that I invest today, the more I'll actually get a return on that investment tomorrow.
So beautifully said. I love that. Love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about your book. It's upcoming, right? It's not released yet, correct?
Yes,
okay.
I'm feverishly working on it. So it'll be out next month, and I'm excited about it because I actually have a speaking engagement in Reno that I'm going to give, and it's about creating the path from pain to promise. And so I got to get the book done before then. And so
nothing like a deadline, that kind of makes
it really does. And there's something about my entrepreneurial brain, and even maybe my ADD brain, where it's like I kind of need that fire. I kind of need to have my back up against the wall a little bit, and then it flows. So I'm trying not to paint myself too much in the corner, but yeah, I'm excited for it. And I will go into detail when it comes to like clarity, right? Clarity. There are subcategories that which will help you develop clarity: facts, feelings, focus, fruit, aka outcomes, right? And there's subcategories to each and every single one of the: clarity, commitment, creativity, and certainty. And the book itself, I didn't want to write a book where people would just be like, I'm done. Like, I wanted a book where people would interact with it. That's the way I love my speaking engagements to be, right? I don't want to talk at people. I want them to respond to me. I want to ask them questions. I want them to raise their hands and nod. We call them trial closes, right? But I want them to be engaged, and I want people to be engaged with this book too. And so the book in itself is going to have mini assignments in it that will allow you to take Maybe it's your body. Maybe it's your spiritual connection. Maybe it's your relationships, significant other, family, children. Maybe it's your business, the making, the keeping, the growing, and the giving of money. Maybe it's that. And I'll take you through at the end of every single chapter and help you to break down some of the thoughts and the ideas and the concepts. And again, ultimately help you get clearer, ultimately help you to maybe make a commitment that you weren't thinking about making. And then in that commitment, get creative and have fun and play with it. And then ultimately develop what it is that I hope that people walk away from with this book, which is being more confident so that you can do the things that you know you must do so that you can have the things that you deserve and desire in your life.
That's beautiful blueprint. And the name of the book is Unshakable Confidence, the power formula for being, doing, having, giving more than you ever imagined. So you can find out information about that at justin.club, www.justin.club. Here, we're running a banner for it. So you can pre-order it now, actually, at your site, correct?
Correct.
Available for pre-order. Awesome. Yeah. That's so great. Oh my gosh, Justin, it's been so fabulous having you on the show.
Yeah, thanks.
I just love and adore you. And is there any final words you'd like to share with us?
Well, look, I think you're absolutely awesome. I love what it is that you do. I love that we get to play together in the same program. I gotta there's some things that I have, some loose threads I have for sure.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, there's some things I want to tie up, but it's just so much wonderful stuff. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. But I am so excited to have these conversations, especially with someone who's doing what it is that you're doing. And look, being in the studio and creating shows like this are near and dear to my heart. So I'm so excited for your upcoming 5-day challenge, that you're helping people to understand what it takes to live inside our rectangular box, right? And to be engaging. I think that we covered everything on my end. I would just encourage people to ask themselves, as they say, I have today, what is the question that I would love to add to that? And it's, who must I become? Who must I become? The answers that you will get from that question as you think, okay, I have today. Who must I become today? Who must I become to do the things that I want to do, to have the things that I want to have and I desire? And the answers that will come from that question will absolutely change your life. I know they've changed your life, Diane. I know they've changed the lives of the people you serve. They've changed my life and the people that I serve. And it is so simple, yet so powerful. Who must I become?
Who must I become? Everybody start adding that to your daily mantra. Yeah. Who must I become? That's so good, because you cannot change, you can't get that life that you want from the same state that you are now. You must become it first. And you said that, and everybody get Justin's book. Everybody go get his book. So, and hey, maybe I will have you come as a speaker at one of my upcoming events.
I would love that.
Speak on that. Yes. Well, we'll talk about that offline.
Sure. Yeah.
So wonderful having you on the show. Thank you so much for sharing part of your today with us here at I Have Today. All right. Okay. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Such an amazing interview. What a wonderful man, right? How he's using his life to serve in such an extraordinary way. Such a blessing to have him on the show. That was so good. All right, so everybody, you need your unshakable confidence in your life. Your life's not going the way you want it to go. You want more in your life. You want more of the things that you dream and desire. You've got to change your state. You need to become, like Justin said, you need to become that person that you want, who lives in that life. You are already it. You just have to catch up to it. So become it by gaining your confidence. All right. We have a couple more minutes before the end of the show. Before I get to our live mantra meditation, let me just recap that we are starting today the TV Star Maker Challenge. It's the 5-day challenge for free. You can register right away at tvstarmaker.com, tvstarmaker.com. If you've thought about creating your own platform, your own network show similar to this, you know you have a message to share, you know, and maybe you don't know this, but that so many people are waiting for you to deliver that message. This is your time. There's never been a better time for it. You know, video content is king, but your own platform is the kingdom. So create your own show and join us for the challenge at tvstarmaker.com. Would love to have you there. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is our mantra meditation. Okay, you ready? If you're driving, obviously, you know, keep your eyes on the road. You can listen, but for everybody else, put your feet flat on the floor. Put your hands on your lap. You can either place them down if you feel grounded or turn them off if you want to receive some energy. And we're just going to do a quick little mantra meditation to get grounded in the energy that we shared today. Are you ready? So close your eyes and take in a deep breath for the count of 4 and hold it for 4 and then blow it out for 8. We're going to do that 2 times. You ready? Here we go. Breathe in. Hold it for 4. And breathe out for 8. Get rid of all that toxicity. Breathe in the fresh air, hold it in, and then breathe out all that negative energy. And one more time, breathe in for 4. Hold it for 4. And breathe out for 8. Keep your eyes closed. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles, big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to live with unshakable confidence in my life, in the 4 pillars of my life that mean the most to me, in every area of my life. I have today to let go of limiting beliefs and old stories from my past that do not represent who I am today. Who I am today is somebody who gets to start fresh and new. It's a blank slate. What I need to do is I need to know where I want to go. Like Justin said, understand the clarity. Understand where you are right now and where you want to go. And know this, that you will fall and get back up, and you will fall and get back up, and you will fall and get back up. And every time that happens to you, you grow stronger and stronger and stronger, and you gain more and more confidence, and you become that person that you want to be. You have those things in your life that you want. As long as you keep your eye on that destination, you're going to get there. So embrace the journey, do it with confidence, become that thing that you want to be first so you can move towards it and make it all happen, knowing that it happens one step at a time, one moment at a time, and you've got this. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode of I Have Today. I'm truly grateful for you. Don't keep us a secret. Share our link with your friends. Follow us here on E360 TV. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at I Have Today with Diane Forster. And actually, I think we're changing the name of that to just Diane Forster. So Google Diane or search Diane Forster on YouTube and you'll find it. Follow me on social media at Diane Forster Official. And subscribe and join us. Register for the TV Star Maker Challenge at tvstarmaker.com. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.